This is the OTB Network.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Horses and Courses. I'm Jean Wood. We have a lot of racing activity to bring to you from this past weekend, so we are going to quickly get right to it. Starting in South Florida at Gulfstream Park, where Saturday's stakes feature was the Gulfstream Park Breeders' Cup Handicap, a Grade 1 $200,000 event with the Breeders' Cup bonus being added in there. It's 3-year-olds and up, going a distance of 1 3/8 on the turf course. Let's head down to Gulfstream now for the call of the Gulfstream Park Breeders' Cup Handicap.
They're off. Dynamic Trick, Mandarin Marsh, Thesaurus, and Antitrust all go for the early lead. What a Brainstorm and Mandar are next. Then to the outside and Subtle Power. Now Thesaurus shuffles himself back to be mid-pack. Stokowski is between horses, and Ciro is shuffled all the way to the back of the pack early as they run to the top of the stretch the first time. It's Antitrust and Dynamic Trick. These two match strides, and they are going slowly for this distance. Antitrust at the rail and Dynamic Trick just outside of him. Mandar has settled into a perfect striking position for Gary Stevens. He's 3rd and 2 from the front with Mandarin Marsh just inside of him. Stokowski is 5th with 6 lengths to make up, then Thesaurus. Ciro moves up between horses. Subtle Power keeps him in tight behind Stokowski, and Pat Day beat Jerry Bailey to that spot on Subtle Power. Then 1.5 lengths further back to the trailer. What a Brainstorm, and they race at the clubhouse turn. Antitrust is put away. Dynamic Trick for the time being. Antitrust leads by 1.25 lengths. Dynamic Trick continues to tug along in 2nd. Long shot. Mandarin Marsh is at the hedge in 3rd. Stokowski moves inside of Mandar. They're together 4th and 5th and 5 lengths from the front. Ciro has made his way now outside of Subtle Power, and Ciro is in the clear. He is 6 from the front. Subtle Power is at the hedge. Then 1.5 lengths to What a Brainstorm and Thesaurus, and there's a half mile left to run. It is Antitrust trying to go it all the way. He leads by 1 3/4 lengths. No excuses today for Mandar, and here he makes his move. Mandar is just outside of Dynamic Trick. These three now press the pace going into the far turn end. Mandar is heads apart for the lead. Stokowski is next. Ciro is 5th and still 3.5 lengths off the lead. Ciro has to fly from there. Subtle Power is next, then Mandarin Marsh, and to the outside, Thesaurus, and they head for home. Antitrust runs the race of his life. Mandar is right at his throat latch to the outside. Stokowski 3 wide, and here comes Stokowski, and he makes his move and runs right by Mandar. Stokowski has taken over the lead. Subtle Power up the inside. To the outside, What a Brainstorm and Ciro. It is Stokowski and Subtle Power coming through from the inside. What a Brainstorm, Subtle Power, What a Brainstorm, Subtle Power!
Subtle Power pulling off a bit of an upset here at about 11-1 under Pat Day in a closing effort. This race was dominated by horses rallying from off the pace after Antitrust set a rather leisurely pace up front. Nobody was quite many horses able to still run by him. Unfortunately, despite the fact that he was slow up front, wasn't able to hold on. Antitrust has usually done most of his best running from off the pace, so when he's in the front early, you know it's a slow pace. What a Brainstorm. Really, considering he really didn't have a whole lot to run into, closed a ton of ground at 9-1 to finish 2nd. Stokowski was back in the 3rd spot in a close finish. It was a neck separating the 1st and 2nd finishers, then a head back to Stokowski at 22-1. Even money favorite in here. Ciro rallied from off the pace in his 4-year-old debut to finish 4th, but was not able to match the top 3. He was, as I mentioned, the favorite at even money, rather surprisingly coming off of a layoff since the Breeders' Cup, taking on some horses that have had a little bit more current form. The winner, Subtle Power, has not been particularly impressive in stakes company in his U.S. appearances. He was based over in Great Britain early in his career, came over here, finished 7th in the Turf Classic, then ran the Breeders' Cup Turf, finishing 10th that day. However, in the interim, has come out and run very nicely, winning an allowance race down in at Gulfstream Park on the turf. He is now 2 for 2 at Gulfstream. Subtle Power is a 4-year-old bay colt, a son of Sadler's Wells from Mosaic Blue by Shirley Heights, bred in Ireland by Dennis and Mrs. Joan Brosnan, currently owned by the Thoroughbred Corporation and trained by Bill Mott. Subtle Power, ridden to victory by Pat Day, completes the mile in 3/8 on the turf course labeled Firm in 2:13 and 2. Sunday's stakes feature at Gulfstream Park was the Very One Handicap, a Grade 3 $100,000 event for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, going a mile in 3/8 on the turf course. Let's head back down to Gulfstream now for the call of the Very One Handicap.
They're up. Good start. Free Vacation and Lucky Loon break 1-2. On a Soapbox runs up and now takes second, and On a Soapbox is in second as Lucky Loon is wrangled back, and she's rank in the early running. She loses 2 positions as Veiled Wings and Innuendo race alongside her, and Lucky Loon is a handful early. Candle in the Dark and Silver Bandana are next. Then comes Sybil and Q, and the early trailer is Hollywood Bald Cat. It is On a Soapbox who races by Free Vacation, and On a Soapbox and Mark Guidry will set the pace. She's in front by 3/4 of a length. Free Vacation doesn't like it down on the inside, and she tries to get to come up from the middle of the track from the inside. Innuendo is close to the pace today. She's third and only a half length off the lead, with Veiled Wings just outside of her. Lucky Loon has now settled down a bit. She's 5th and 4 from the front. Candle in the Dark gallops along nicely in 6. 2 lengths to Sybil and At the Rail Silver Bandana. Q is 9 from the front, and Hollywood Bald Cat is the trailer as they race to the back stretch. Free Vacation and On a Soapbox, these two continue to match strides. On a Soapbox outside of Free Vacation, who is at the hedge. Innuendo in the perfect striking position, and Jerry Bailey has her placed third and a length and a quarter off the front. Lucky Loon continues to tug. She's 4th and only 2 off the lead, with Veiled Wings a reserved 5th outside of her. Candle in the Dark has 5 lengths to make up, then Silver Bandana and Sybil. Q is 8 from the front. Hollywood Bald Cat has trailed throughout, and they go into the far turn. It's On a Soapbox and Free Vacation. Innuendo 3/4 of a length off the lead, and she is moving now on the outside. There goes Innuendo. She forces the hand of On a Soapbox, who goes with her, but Innuendo gets the jump to the top of the stretch. On a Soapbox is second. Veiled Wings and Lucky Loon now come with their runs, but Innuendo is opening up at the top of the stretch. They'll have to fly to catch this front-running favored mare. Innuendo comes into the lane in front by 2 lengths. Lucky Loon now set down for the final furlong. Then On a Soapbox and Silver Bandana, but Innuendo is straight and strong 70 yards from home. She leads by 3. Lucky Loon and Silver Bandana chase her home. Innuendo wins.
Innuendo actually picking up her first added money event here in the United States. Interestingly enough, this is a very well-bred filly who has spent quite a great deal of time running against some horses that were just a notch better than she. Finally coming up with just the kind of field she needed and picking up a nice win under Jerry Bailey as the odds-on favorite by over 4 lengths. Lucky Loon completes the exacta here with Silver Bandana rallying from off the pace into the 3rd spot. The winner, Innuendo, tracked the leads. The early pace setters, Free Vacation and On a Soapbox, got a perfect trip under Jerry Bailey and a nice stalking effort. On a Soapbox held on fairly well to finish in the top half of the field. Free Vacation faded rather badly. The winner, Innuendo, is a 5-year-old bay mare, a daughter of Caerleon from Infamy by Shirley Heights. Infamy is probably best known as being a major Grade 1 stakes winner, including a victory in the Rothmans International. The winner is bred by her owner, Gerald Lee, in Ireland, and is trained by Chris Clement, ridden to victory by Jerry Bailey. Innuendo completes the distance of a mile and 3/8 on the turf course labeled Firm in 2:13 and 3. Next, we're going to be heading to Laurel Park, where their stakes feature on Saturday was the Maryland Racing Media Handicap. $60,000 on offer for 4-year-olds and up, fillies and mares going a mile and 3/16. Let's head down to Laurel now for the call of the Maryland Racing Media.
All from the Maryland Racing Media Handicap. Irving's Baby off to a sharp start. Irving's Baby going right out to the lead. Took him down, settles on the inside of that Unbridled Lady. Proud Owner racing on the far outside. Back in shape on the inside is Adriatic Queen, followed by Tutu Divine, is going to get caught 3 wide, 4 wide into the first turn, and trailing the field is the great Queen of Oz. Around that turn, and it's Irving's Baby out to make the pace. Took him down, racing second on the inside. Outside is Proud Owner. Tutu Divine racing far outside, 3 wide around that clubhouse turn, followed by Unbridled Lady, is now in 5th. Back in shape is in 6th. 2 more lengths. Adriatic Queen is next, fighting the rider just a little bit. It's another 3 to Queen of Oz. Heading up the backstretch now, Irving's Baby, just at a moderate pace out there. 2-2 Divines run alongside in the 2nd spot. Then the entry Tooken Down and Proud Owner. Meanwhile, Back in Shape gets a little closer, racing out 3 wide. Back in Shape is racing 5th, just 2.5 lengths in the lead. Unbridled Lady is next, followed by Adriatic Queen, is now giving her head a bit, and trailing the field is Queen of Oz, is about 8 lengths off the lead. Pace has picked up just a little bit, but it's still easy for Irving's Baby, 3/4 of a length. 2-2 Divine, Tooken Down is in 3rd, and Back in Shape in 4th. Proud Owner backs out a bit in 5th. Unbridled Lady is 6th and still has some run. Here's Unbridled Lady on the outside now, just 4 lengths in the front. Adriatic Queen and Queen of Oz is the trailer. 3/8 of a mile to go. Irving's Baby cruising right along. 3-length lead now. Back in Shape now makes a run on the outside. Tooken Down to the inside. Followed in 4th by 2-2 Divine. Unbridled Lady is next. Not much going on from the back of the pack. They're at the quarter pole and the top of the stretch. Irving's Baby still the leader. Back in Shape the closest rival. Unbridled Lady is next, followed by Tooken Down running in 4th with 3/16 of a mile to go. Dominguez confident on Irving's Baby, now letting her loose, and she's strolling. Irving's Baby by 4 lengths. Unbridled Lady and Back in Shape left to battle it out. On the inside is Tooken Down to the 16th pole. Irving's Baby, the baby did it again. Irving's Baby to score clear cut in the Maryland Racing Media. Second, that was Back in Shape. The Unbridled Lady and Tooken Down.
Dominated by New York shippers, Irving's Baby and Back in Shape, picking up the 1st and 2nd spots here. Both of these fillies recent arrivals from New York. Irving's Baby getting the win here by a dominating 6 3/4 lengths under Ramon Dominguez. She has recently come into very good form. Was running competitively in Allowance Company in New York, shipped out of town, and this is her 2nd consecutive stakes win. Back in Shape into the 2nd spot here, with Unbridled Lady completing the top 3. The winner, Irving's Baby, is a 4-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Quiet American from Irving's Girl by Badger Land. She is bred in Kentucky by her owners, the Aunt Stu Stable, trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden to victory by Ramon Dominguez. Irving's Baby completes the distance of 1 mile and 3/16 in 1 minute 59 seconds flat. Stakes racing action continued at Laurel on Sunday with the Horatius Stakes. $50,000 for 3-year-olds going 6 furlongs on the main track. Let's head back down to Laurel once more for the call of Sunday's Horatius Stakes.
And they're off. Looks like Native Air bobbled a bit at the start. Ghostly Numbers up front. My Golden Sun and Native Air comes out running in the 3rd spot. Emma's 4th. Jakey D and Danny E in the back of the pack, 7 lengths from the lead. Ghostly Numbers up front. Half length now in neck lead. My Golden Sun trying to press. And now Native Air has been given a tall order to chase that pace here. It's another 2 more lengths in Emma's. It's another 4 to Danny E and Jakey D, and they share last, and they're 8 lengths in the front. 4 furlongs to go and edging into the turn. Ghostly Numbers, My Golden Sun keeping pace on the outside. Native Air is 3rd and 3 lengths in the lead. Emma's is next in 4th. Jakey D and Danny E share last with less than 3/8 of a mile to go. My Golden Sun now grabs the lead with 5/16 of a mile to run from Ghostly Numbers. Native Air's under a ride in the 3rd spot, back to Emma's 4th, and Danny E and Jakey D, they're at the top of the stretch. My Golden Sun in front of length. Ghostly Numbers battles but loses some ground. Native Air's under a drive and has to do better. Then Emma's is racing in 4th. There's a furlong to go. Harry Vega sends My Golden Sun along, has it 3 lengths. Native Air 2nd, Danny E on the outside, and Emma's is 16th of a mile to go. My Golden Sun's got it won. My Golden Sun to win by a couple from Native Air 2nd, Danny E 3rd, and Emma's.
My Golden Sun picking up a little bit of an upset here over the favored Native Air, who started with a little bit of a stumbling, bobbling beginning. Didn't really get into his best running style until it was a little bit too late. My Golden Sun able to hold him off as Danny E, who shows no speed whatsoever, rallies into the 3rd spot here. The winner did end up being involved. My Golden Sun did end up being involved in the pace every step of the way. Ghostly Numbers, who he was involved with early, faded and finished rather badly. The winner, My Golden Sun, is a 3-year-old bay son of Twining. Out of Snow Blossom by the Minstrel, he was bred in Kentucky by the Helen Groves Revocable Trust and is owned by Shahina Ahmad. Trained by Michael Wright Jr. and ridden to victory by Harry Vega, My Golden Sun is victorious in the Horatia Stakes at 6 furlongs in 1:11 flat. We are going to pause now for a brief break, and when we return, we will have stakes racing activity to bring to you from the Midwest. Please stay tuned.
Lush farmlands and abundant natural resources make New York State the perfect place to raise a horse. And the rich purses make New York State the perfect place to race a horse.
Here's the wire. Cashatrea gets it. It is critical eye. Plenty of light coming back on the inside. Photo finish. Dead tight on the wire.
Hey, forget about it. You gotta be crazy to be in New York, right? Well, if you're an owner or breeder, you'd be crazy not to be here. This year, registered New York breds will earn over $35 million in purses and incentives. Crazy? Breeding or racing a New York bred is the most logical decision you can make. It's just plain horse sense. So call the New York Breeding and Racing Program at 518-587-0777 or log on to nybreds.com for more information on America's best incentive program. New York breds, they start with an advantage.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses, everyone. Next, we're going to be heading to Oaklawn Park, where the stakes feature on Saturday was the Mountain Valley Stakes. $50,000 for 3-year-olds going 6 furlongs. Let's head down to Oaklawn now for the call of the Mountain Valley Stakes.
And they're off in the Mountain Valley. Quickly along the inside, that's First State Deposit showing speed, joined by Rude Cat. Out to the middle, Sam's Country Blue. Between horses, the Gray Eagle. Much Too Tough is next, followed by the Wise Blues. Then to the rail, Son of Rocket. Next is He's the Tops. Trailing in the early going is Cobra Devil. Rude Cat with a short lead on First State Deposit. The Gray Eagle is right there third. Wise Blues is taking the outside route. That's Sam's Country Blue, rather. Along the inside, Son of Rocket is full of run, and he's got an opening along the rail, and suddenly Son of Rocket explodes to the lead. Rude Cat is right there second. First State Deposit is next. Also trying to muster a late run. Much Too Tough, and here they come into the stretch of the Mountain Valley, and Son of Rocket cleverly is shot to the lead. That is First State Deposit second. Much Too Tough along the rail. But Son of Rocket leads it. First State Deposit's trying to run him down, but Son of Rocket, cleverly ridden by Terry Thompson, is taken command by 2. First State Deposit's trying to dig in, come after him. Son of Rocket leads it. First State Deposit going to make it close at the wire. Son of Rocket holds on for the win. He wins it by a nose. First State Deposit second. Much Too Tough was third.
Son of Rocket picking up a nice win here by about a neck over First State Deposit. It was 2 3/4 lengths back to the favorite, Much Too Tough, who found this field just a little bit too tough for him. The winner did have a little bit of a rough start. Son of Rocket was left just a bit at the gate, had a bit of a bobbling beginning, hustled up to get involved, and was inside of horses, just able to eke out that neck win. The winner, 3-year-old Gray or Roan Colt, Son of a Rocket, is a son of El Prado from Seems Like Old Times by Wolf Power. He was bred in Kentucky by Frank Fletcher and is currently owned by the Frank Fletcher Racing Operation, trained by Bob Holthus, ridden to victory by Terry Thompson. 17-1, Son of Rocket, winner of the Mountain Valley Stakes, completes the 6 furlongs in 1:10-1. Next, we're going to be heading to the fairgrounds. On Saturday, they had a big stakes race down there, the Panzaretta, which often draws some of the better sprinting fillies and mares on the in the eastern portion of the country. It certainly brought together a solid but rather short field. $75,000 on offer for 3 or 4-year-olds and up fillies and mares sprinting 6 furlongs. Let's head down to the fairgrounds now for Saturday's running of the Panzaretta.
And they're all in the gate. They're off in the Panzaretta, and Feisty Countess broke about 4 lengths behind the field. Hallowed Dreams on the inside. On the outside is Steel A. Hart, and Roxalana is there between them. Then comes My Alibi next in 4th. Now about 7 lengths back to Feisty Countess and Enquiry Woman. And into the far turn, 3 of them heads apart for the lead. Hallowed Dreams on the inside. Roxalana, and on the outside is Steel A. Hart. 3 lengths back is My Alibi. Gap of 5 to Feisty Countess and Inquiry Woman. Let's see who'll blink. Top of the stretch. Hallowed Dreams on the inside. Roxalana is next. Steal a Heart. My Alibi on the outside and Hallowed Dreams. Now she gets clear. She's in front by 5 here. My Alibi is next. Roxalana. And then comes Feisty Countess by the 16th pole. It's Hallowed Dreams. 19 of 20 for this tough Louisiana bred. She wins the Panzeretta, My Alibi, and Feisty Countess.
The Louisiana Lightning proving that she can take on some pretty salty customers and still run with them. 3 horses running right around the track all together. Down on the inside, that was Hallowed Dreams, the Dark Bay filly, who is now 19 for 20 in her career. She put away Roxalana, ran right on with it. My Alibi, who was rallying very nicely on the outside of horses down the stretch, about 2.5 lengths behind her. It was Feisty Countess, who spotted the field several lengths from the in the early portion of the going, hustling up into the 3rd spot. But any of the horses that tried to run with this filly early, they ended up fading rather badly. As you can see, it does appear that Hallowed Dreams did not have to leave the New Orleans area and leave Louisiana in order to pick up a win against some pretty high-quality customers in terms of the horses in this race. Obviously, Roxalana had been very impressive against some very nice fillies sprinting last year, so obviously Hallowed Dreams now has had a chance to prove herself against some pretty good horses. The winner, Hallowed Dreams, is a 4-year-old bay daughter of Milagro out of Pacific Stream by Brother McCree, bred by Mike Kennington in Louisiana. She is owned by Johnny Gaspard and Lloyd Romero, trained by Lloyd Romero, ridden to victory by her regular rider, Sidney Carmouche. Hallowed Dreams, who is now 19 for 20 in her career, completes the 6 furlongs on a fast racing surface in a quick 109.3. Stakes racing action continued at the fairgrounds on Sunday with the Whirlaway Handicap. $125,000 available for 4-year-olds and up, going 1 mile and a 16th. Let's head back down to the fairgrounds for the call of the Whirlaway Handicap.
They're off in the Whirlaway and all the way well on the outside Mountain Range. Barrister moves up. Combat Cat then comes Winning Connection towards the rail as they make their way to the first turn. Barrister has the lead. Combat Cat there in 2nd. Mountain Range on the outside 3rd. At the rail is Winning Connection in 4th. Include is now 5th. Then comes Miner's Prize 6th. Rebridled is 7th, and 4 lengths back, Connected is 8th. And down the back stretch they go. It is Barrister showing the way. Here by a length and a quarter. Combat Cat is there in 2nd. Include now 3rd, and Winning Connection is 4th at the rail, followed by Mountain Range. Next in 5th. Miner's Prize is 6th, Rebridled and Connected 8th as they make their way to the far turn now. Barrister has the lead. Combat Cat stays right there on the outside. Include is next. Miner's Prize is up on the outside. And then comes Winning Connection. Now turning for home. Barrister on the inside. Combat Cat. Include on the outside. Include now has the lead. Combat Cat gamely back on the inside. It's 3 lengths back to Connected on the outside. Now to the 16th pole. It is Include with the lead. Combat Cat. Connected makes a late run, but Include will win the Whirlaway. Connected on for 2nd, and Combat Cat.
Include picking up a very impressive win here. This is a kind of an interesting horse from the Bud Delp barn. Was early in his career, was being pointed for classics, did have a couple of setbacks, but has now seemed to come back to very good form. He did have a little bit of a rough start, still ends up being able to win here by 2 lengths over Connected, with Combat Cat back in the 3rd spot. The heavy favorite in here, Barrister, ended up finishing 2nd to last in a rather disappointing effort. Include is a stablemate of Concerned Minister, who last year was a very nice 3-year-old in the Bud Delp barn. Both of these horses did have some setbacks. Concerned Minister came back with a couple of very impressive races last fall before suffering an injury that has required some surgery. Bud Delp did feel that this horse was the better of those two. Obviously, getting a chance to show his stuff on Sunday, he will still have to meet a little bit better company in order to be considered of the highest class, but certainly another very impressive performance from this colt from Bud Delp's barn. Include is a 4-year-old son of Broad Brush from Elyria by Stop the Music, bred in Maryland by her owner, Robert Meyerhoff, trained, as I mentioned, by Bud Delp, ridden to victory by Lonnie Mesh. Include completes the mile and a 16th in 1:44 flat. Next, we're going to be heading to Turfway Park, where Saturday's stakes feature was the President's Stakes, $50,000 for 3-year-olds going a flat mile. Let's head down to Turfway now for the call of the President's Stakes.
And they're off. For the lead, Accelerant quickly on the outside, the inside Dry Ridge. Up between horses, that's X-Country, followed by Rocky Falls as they move into the first turn. Dry Ridge gets the lead, has a length. Accelerant is second, X-Country third. Rocky Falls is now fourth by 3, Big Will fifth. Amazing Captain Mike is sixth. 2.5 back to Halo's Stride. 5 more to Bonnie Scott and the trailer. Time to jet 22-2. For the opening quarter, Accelerant now gets a short lead. Still on the inside, Dry Ridge, X-Country between those two. Then Rocky Falls runs fourth. Big Will is fifth, gap of 5 lengths. Halo's Stride is sixth. Bonnie Scott now runs seventh, followed by Amazing Captain Mike and the trailer. Time to jet, the half went in 46. Accelerant has a head in front. Dry Ridge is second. Then it's 4 lengths back to Big Will, who runs third. Moving to the extreme outside, that's Halo's Stride in fourth. Through from the inside, Bonnie Scott. Into the stretch, Accelerant has the lead with Dry Ridge second. Gaining ground, Bonnie Scott from the inside. Now it's Bonnie Scott. Up on the outside, Big Will. Bonnie Scott, Dry Ridge, and Big Will on the outside. It's Bonnie Scott in front. Big Will up on the outside. Bonnie Scott.
Bonnie Scott and Greta Kunzweiler getting the win here by a desperate neck over Big Will, with X-Country back in the third spot here. The winner, Bonnie Scott, continuing to do a little bit better with each race here, is a 3-year-old gelded son of Lord Avey out of Crystal Woods by Woodman. Bred by his owner, William Kelly, trained by Roger Anderson, and ridden to victory by Greta Kunzweiler, winning over a muddy racing surface, the flat mile run in a final time of 1:39. We are next going to head from Turfway to Turf Paradise, where their stakes feature on Saturday was a nice race for turf fillies and mares, the Glendale Handicap, with a $50,000 purse. 4-year-olds and up, fillies and mares going a distance of 1 mile and a 16th on the grass. Let's head down to Turf Paradise for the call of the Glendale.
Off and running in the Glendale. The favorite Polaire broke in the air. She's dead last early. Out to take the lead. Top Bracket sprints away to lead by a length. Sunny Do It up to join her on the outside. Then it's Page's Fun. No Malo. Flashing speed on the far outside. Look to be Proud. Then Jessica Miss and Balboa Park. Passing the stands. A lap left to go. Top Bracket and Leslie Mawing by ahead. No Malo pressing the pace from the outside in second. And Page's Fun up the fence comes away in third. Sunny Do It racing in fourth. Look to be Proud. Fan out 3 wide around the turn, followed by Balboa Park. And it's a break of a couple farther back to What's the Fuss, with Jessica Miss moving up to her outside. Model Actress next, followed by Simply Silver. Then the favorite Polaire on the inside with 10 to make up early. And a break of 7 more back to follow my Heineken. 23-4 for the quarter, straightening away up the backstretch now. And No Malo takes over by a length to Look to be Proud on the outside up into second. Top Bracket gets shuffled back to third. Sunny Do It right in the thick of things early, racing fourth. They're followed by Page's Fun. What's the Fuss with 7 to make up at this point, followed by Balboa Park. Simply Silver splitting horses and coming on gamely now. Then Jessica Miss. Polaris steered off the fence by Iggy Polisi and starting to make her move now to farther back to Model Actress in 7. Back to follow by Heineken. Half mile and 48 and 4 round the turn. It's No Malo out there by a length and a half. Look to be proud, set down for the drive. Page's Fun coming through between fillies now. And the favorite Polaire commencing her rally, but spun out 10 wide as they head for home. No Malo turning for home in front by 2.5 to Page's Fun. Polaire kicks it into high gear and she's flying on the far outside. Polaire's gobbling up the ground, goes right on by the embattled leaders to take over, and Polaire with a big burst of energy wins it going away. Polaire by 2 in the Glendale handicap. No Malo second, Balboa Park third in 145 and 2.
Polaire, a filly that has been based for much of her United States career out in California, shipping down to Turf Paradise and picking up a win by almost 3 lengths under Ignacio Puglisi. The second place finisher, No Malo, had a neck or so advantage over the late moving Balboa Park after setting the early pace. The winner, Polaire, closing very fast in a wide effort. She ended up being fanned about 5 wide, still rallying very, very strongly down the lane, was able to completely dominate this race in a rather easy effort. The winner, Polaire, is a 5-year-old bay mare, a daughter of Polish Patriot from Headrest by Habitat. She's an Irish bred. She was bred by Mrs. Brid Cosgrove in Ireland, currently owned by Gary Tanaka and trained by Ben Cecil, ridden to victory by Ignacio Puglisi. Heavy favorite Polaire completes the distance of 1 1/16 miles on the firm turf in 145 and 2. We are going to pause now for our second break, and when we return, we'll have racing action to bring to you from both North and Southern California, as well as back home at the Big A. Please stay tuned.
This year, many thoroughbreds, no longer able to compete, will join the ranks of racing's homeless. Since 1982, the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation and its supporters have been providing help and hope for those in need, creating opportunities where once there were none. The TRF, together with the racing industry, is meeting the challenge, taking care of their own. Yesterday's innovative concepts, combining the TRF's rescue mission with educational and rehabilitation goals, have become today's life-saving success stories and a track record of unsurpassed growth. Safely retired thoroughbreds are now enjoying second careers, bringing responsibility, healing, and purpose to the lives of those who need it most. With your help, we can continue our saving mission, ensuring many more horses the welcome home they so richly deserve.
Welcome back to Horses and Courses, everyone. Next, we're going to be heading to Northern California, where the stakes feature on Saturday was the Golden State Mile. $100,000 on offer for 3-year-olds going a flat mile. Let's head up to Golden Gate Fields for the call of the Golden State Mile.
And there they go. Smooth start for all. Gold Trader is out for the lead, quickly joined by Chinook Cat. Champagne Day attends the pace. Wadancer is up close, although he will be a little wide entering the clubhouse run. Looks like he's going to try to maneuver over to save some ground outside of C2C, and Lil Country will be the trailer. They're into the clubhouse run, and with the lead, it's Gold Trader, 3 parts of a length. Chinook Cat right there to keep him honest in second. C2C is well placed through the early stages, likewise for Champagne Day. Wadancer's back to 5th, about 3.5 from the front, and 2 clear from Lil Country. 23 seconds for the opening quarter. Up the Golden Gate Fields backstretch, and it's Gold Trader by 3 parts of a length. Chinook Cat right there keeping him company. Champagne Day in close proximity to the leaders, 3 wide, a length off. C2C is about 2 from the front, joined by Wadancer, and they race 2 clear from Lil Country. Half and 46 and 2, Gold Trader, Chinook Cat, Champagne Day, 3 across the track. Wadancer battling with C2C. Lil Country has more than 6 to make up. Inside the 3/8, Gold Trader and Chinook Cat. Champagne Day right there, 3 wide. Wadancer has more than 2.5 to make up. He's a length clear of C2C, and Lil Country is 7 from the front, and the front belongs to Gold Trader. He has turned return back the challenge of Chinook Cat. Champagne Day is under the whip. 3/4 in 1:10-1. Final furlong in the Golden State Mile. And it's Gold Trader who shows the way home. Champagne Day testing him to the wire. Gold Trader by better than 2. Champagne Day second. It's time to roll out the red carpet for the royally bred Gold Trader. He wins the Golden State Mile. Gold Trader over Champagne Day. Photo for 3rd and 4th involving C2C and Lil Country.
That was a lot of golden in the intro and a lot of gold winning the race. Gold Trader, a very impressive winner here, an extremely nicely bred horse, winning by 2 lengths over Champagne Day, who was way, way ahead, 6 or so lengths ahead of Lil Country, just getting up for the 3rd spot here. Gold Trader, a bit of a later developing horse from the Wayne Lucas operation here. This is a homebred from Overbrook Farm, a beautifully bred colt who's taken a little bit of time to come to hand. Wayne Lucas sending him to Northern California, taking a similar path that Wayne had tried a couple of years ago with a colt by the name of Charismatic. So do not necessarily discount his Northern California form, as obviously it was a significant factor a couple of years ago with the D. Wayne Lucas operation. The favorite in this race, Chinook Cat, was the even money favorite, finished last, a rather disappointing effort. I was not able to get any news as to why, any explanations as to why he finished so poorly. The winner, Gold Trader, a 3-year-old dark bay or brown colt by Stormcat out of major graded stakes winner Golden Attraction by Mr. Prospector. It was bred in Kentucky by his owner, Overbrook Farm, trained by D. Wayne Lucas, ridden to victory by Russell Bays. Gold Trader completes the mile of the Golden State Mile in 1:35 flat. Next, we're going to be heading south to Southern California, where the stakes feature on Friday at Santa Anita was the Restricted Sham Stakes, $75,000 on offer for 3-year-olds going 1 1/8. Let's head out to Santa Anita for the call of the Sham Stakes.
Gates closed, all set. Oh, where they go. Along the inside, Dim Sum's coming away quickly, but now here comes Unbridled Time, intent on getting the lead, and he will. Swordfish from the outside gate runs up to join him. They're followed by Wild and Wise. Then comes Golden Ticket, and Special Times drops out last, 7 off them. They head to the 7/8 pole, and Unbridled Time setting a good pace along the rails. Swordfish keeping the pressure on right there second, and Dim Sums has a good spot 3rd down at the rail. Then comes Wild and Wise in 4th, only 2 lengths off these leaders. They've been followed by Golden Ticket, and then there's another 5 back to Special Times. 3/4 of a mile left to go. All runners appear happy with their positions here. It's still Unbridled Time taking them along with Swordfish on his outside. Wild and Wise nice and relaxed in 3rd, just 2.5 off the leaders. Dim Sum still right there at the rail, and Golden Ticket at the back of the leading group, but no more than 4 lengths off the leaders, and then a gap of 6 lengths back to Special Times. They have a half mile left to go. Unbridled Time and Chris McCarron in front by a neck. On the outside is Swordfish. Wild and Wise only a length and a half back in 3rd. Dim Sums down at the rail. Golden Ticket in the white cap now takes 4th as Dim Sums begins to lose ground. And let's see, Special Times are still far back. He's a good 11 off these leaders. They're approaching the quarter pole, and here comes Wild and Wise. And Wild and Wise in the white cap on the outside coming powerfully. Swordfish hanging tough between them. Unbridled Time down at the rail. These 3 line up at the top of the lane. Wild and Wise didn't corner too well here, but now that he's straightened up, he's coming on again. Wild and Wise, Swordfish, these are the 2 that go on with it. Unbridled Time drops back 3rd. A 16th to go. Wild and Wise on the outside. Swordfish at the rail. Wild and Wise puts his head in front with 50 to go, and Wild and Wise will win it. Wild and Wise, Swordfish, Special Times came from last to snatch 3rd, and Unbridled Time was 4th.
Wild and Wise, one of those many horses in the barn of Bob Baffert, picking up a win here by about a half a length, wearing down Swordfish. Those 2 were involved fairly early on, right through. Unbridled Time was the favorite, did set the early pace. I'm sorry, he wasn't the favorite, but he ended up setting the pace, ending up fading into the 4th spot as Special Times is able to get up just about a head in front of him. The winner, Wild and Wise, is now the winner of 3 consecutive races. He's a little bit of a green horse. He's apparently a little bit of a handful. Bob Baffert feels he's got a lot of potential to to be a major contender, but he does feel like he's going to have to do some settling. Apparently has quite a bit of life in him, and has given some people some trouble in the barn. Has a little bit of a green attitude in racing. Victor Espinoza felt that he was going to run right by Swordfish. Those two ended up rather duking it out. He felt that Wild and Wise should have been able to do it, but just mentally was not quite all there in the game. Would rather run alongside horses than run by them. So he may need a little further training to really be able to show his best stuff. The winner, Wild and Wise, is a 3-year-old dark bay or brown son of Avenue of Flags out of Terry's Wild Again by Wild Again. Bred in California by Mr. and Mrs. John Mabey of Golden Eagle Farm. He is owned by the Golden Eagle Farm, trained by Bob Baffert, and ridden to victory by Victor Espinoza. Wild and Wise completes the mile in an eighth in 1:50 and 2. Stakes feature on Saturday at Santa Anita was the Las Virgens, $200,000, Grade 1, the 3-year-old fillies going a flat mile. Let's head out to Southern California for the call of the Las Virgens.
Heel for the Las Virgenes, sent on their way, and Golden Ballet leaps out the inside gate and sprints clear. Golden Ballet gets the early lead. Ergen's Angel right there in second. Affluent's going to be hooked wide into the turn. Collect Call is right there. Those four sprinting, and Golden Ballet fans those other three wide out on the turn. 2 Item Limit is scraping the paint in the 5th position. Up alongside comes Warren's Whistle, and at the back is Ella's Pal, only 8 lengths off the leaders. 3/4 of a mile to go, and Golden Ballet went fast early and is still striding along a good pace, but well in hand, nice and relaxed out here, leads by 3/4 of a length. In second is Ergen's Angel. Collect Call keeping the pressure on the outside. 2 back to Warren's Whistle in the 4th position. 2 Item Limit is 5th, 4 lengths off these leaders. And behind that, Ella's Pal starting to make a bit of headway from behind, and Affluent has now dropped out last, but it's a bunch field. Less than a half mile to go in the Las Virgenes, and it's still Chris McCarron and Golden Ballet taking them along 3/4 of a length. Ergen's Angel right there second. 2 Item Limit third. Collect Call now having to be sent along. Warren's Whistle is 5th. Affluent has 6 to make up, and Ella's Pal lost that ground now. She's dropped out last. 1/4 of a mile to go, and Golden Ballet continues to lead. Ergen's Angel running a big one, and 2 Item Limit literally scraping paint down the rail. Can she get through down there? Golden Ballet's got something left though, and Golden Ballet kicks away again. 2 Item Limit giving a game chase second, and Affluent making late headway, but it's Golden Ballet in full flight for the wire, and Golden Ballet, the daughter of Moscow Ballet, impressive again in the Las Virgenes, wins it by 3. 2 Item Limits.
Golden Ballet, no big surprise here. Heavy odds-on favorite off of a dominating win last time out, picking up another impressive win, this time 2.5 lengths the better of 2 Item Limit, who recently shipped out to the West Coast. Did take on, obviously, the best horses in New York late in the season, heading out to the West Coast, and ran into Golden Ballet, who has obviously returned to the races in her very, very best form, dominating once again. It was Affluent making an outside move, who was able to get up for the 3rd spot. Golden Ballet racing right there on the pace every step of the way, as she did last time out, putting them away in the lane. She is a 3-year-old chestnut daughter of Moscow Ballet from Golden Jewel Box by Slew of Gold. Bred in California by Dutton and Popovich. She is owned by the Heiligbrod Racing Stable and Team Valor, trained by Janine Sahadi, ridden to victory by Chris McCarron. Golden Ballet completes the 1 mile of the Las Virgenes in 1:36 and 4. We had more fillies on the racetrack on Sunday in the La Cañada. 4-year-old fillies going a mile and an eighth in Grade 2 company. The rematch, the rubber match, if you will, in the contest between Chaluki and Spain. Those two had split their 2 prior runnings. Let's head out to Southern California for the call of Sunday's La Cañada.
Going in, gates closed, all set for the La Cañada, and away they go. From the The inside, Spain was out fast. Chaluki won from the outside. Letter of Intent extreme outside. Then Briander and High Walden. 5 of them almost in a line as they come past the stands first time round. And now it's going to be High Walden to go off and set the pace. High Walden going clear at a decent pace too. Spain content to sit there second. Chaluki is taken back into third today. Chaluki now 3 lengths off that leader. Then Letter of Intent and Briander at the rail. Past the 7/8 they go, and High Walden slowing them down now. High Walden going very comfortably out here, leads it by a length and 3/4 to Spain. Chaluki's in third, Briander racing fourth, and Letter of Intent 5 lengths off the leaders. On to the backstretch they go, and Kent de Sormo and High Walden taking them along by a length and 3/4. Spain is very comfortable second, and Chaluki's right on her outside. A gap of 3 lengths back to Briander, and Letter of Intent is now 7 off the leaders. A half mile to go in the La Cañada, and still High Walden bowling along a length and a quarter in front. Now Spain is coming with an early run to put the pressure on, and there goes Spain to tackle High Walden. Chaluki on the outside, 3 in a straight line with 3/8 to go. 6 back to Briander and Letter of Intent. 5/16 to go, and Spain and Chaluki now take the lead and head for home. High Walden's dropped a length and a half back, and it looks like another match race between Spain and Chaluki. They turn for home, nose and nose. Spain along the inside is finding more. Chaluki the first one to come under pressure, and Spain has her measure today. Past the 8th pole, and Spain now gains the ascendancy and starts to widen on Chaluki. 16th to go, and it's Spain and Victor Espinosa on their way to take the La Cañada. Spain from Chaluki, Letter of Intent, Briander and High Walden faded to last.
Spain getting the win here by about 2 lengths over Chaluki, with Letter of Intent another 2.5 or so lengths behind. Interestingly enough, Chaluki was the favorite in here. She did win the last of these two meetings. Prior to that, Spain had been victorious going a shorter distance, interestingly enough, ironically, considering that Chaluki is best known as a sprinter. Spain is best known as a distance horse. Perhaps people weren't quite believing what they were reading, letting Chaluki go off at odds on. Spain, a bit of an overlay here, picking up a win. She flies by Chaluki after High Walden, who ended up fading to last, set the early pace, and it was a legitimate pace for the distance here. Spain obviously asserting her dominance, particularly at a distance of ground over Chaluki in this field. The winner, Spain, a 4-year-old bay filly, a daughter of Thunder Gulch from Drina by Regal and Royal, was bred in Kentucky by her owner, the Thoroughbred Corporation, trained by D. Wayne Lucas, ridden to victory by Victor Espinosa, who had a terrific week of stakes racing activity out in Santa Anita. Spain, the winner of last year's Breeders' Cup Distaff, comes back with another major stakes win here, completing the 1 1/8 of the La Cañada in 1:49.3. Next, we're going to be heading back east to the lone stakes feature on the card this weekend at Aqueduct, the Whirlaway Stakes. Earlier in the program, we brought you the Whirlaway Handicap from down at the fairgrounds. This time it's the Whirlaway Stakes at Aqueduct, $75,000 for 3-year-olds going the stretch-out distance of 1.16 miles. Let's head down to Aqueduct now for John Embriel's call of the Whirlaway.
They're in the gate, and they're off. Stumbling at the start, Bianco Appeal, unseating jockey Norberto Arroyo Jr. Jockey Arroyo is up and walking around. We do have the loose horse as the field moves for the clubhouse turn. It's Just Allen who has the lead. Voodoo is on the outside, and then Regal Shivers in third. The early trailer is What's Your Wish in fourth. Voodoo and Just Allen, and they are heads apart for the lead. They've reached the back stretch, the opening quarter, 22-4. And now they're racing into the wind as they move up the back stretch. Voodoo with the lead by a length. Just Allen back in second. Length and a half to Regal Shivers. What's Your Wish is fourth. It is Voodoo in front here by 2 lengths now. Regal Shivers and Just Allen heads apart second and third with What's Your Wish in fourth. The half mile in 46 and 2. Voodoo, the big favorite, continues to lead as they move around the far turn. Now Regal Shivers will challenge on the outside. It's Voodoo and Regal Shivers. Regal Shivers on the outside. Voodoo at the rail. They're right together as they move for the top of the stretch. Just Allen is third and What's Your Wish is fourth. 3/4, 1:11 and 3, and Regal Shivers has taken over the lead. Regal Shivers in front. Voodoo is back running in second. At the 8th pole, Regal Shivers in front by 5 lengths. Regal Shivers with a commanding lead. Voodoo is second, then Just Allen and What's Your Wish, and it's Regal Shivers to win the whirl away. Voodoo was second.
Regal Shivers picking up a very impressive win over the heavy favorite in this field, Voodoo. Voodoo had been off since late in last year. He was about a 2.5 to 3 month layoff. Did come up just a little bit flat in the drive, but Regal Shivers, who had recently picked up a very impressive allowance win over a subsequent big winner named Hasty Cabernet, Regal Shivers goes on to win by 5 3/4 lengths with a very brisk move outside of Voodoo. What's Your Wish rallies into the third spot. Bianco Appeal stumbled out of the starting gate, dropping his rider. Apparently he was okay. The horse was also okay. Just a stumbling beginning that caused the tumble there. Just Allen hustled to the lead, was not able to continue to go on with it. Voodoo did end up running perhaps a little bit more forwardly than he usually likes to do. As a result, didn't have quite enough left to hold off Regal Shivers, but Regal Shivers does seem to be a horse that is certainly improving at the right time. A handsome chestnut colt picked up a big win. Quote from Nick Zito's assistant trainer, Nick Galati, who has been handling this horse. This horse has turned the corner over the last month. I can't pinpoint anything specific. He's just a different horse now. Obviously, they are very impressed with this colt. I would assume that he will be continuing on through the series, culminating in the Wood Memorial, leading up to the Triple Crown. Javier Castellano, who's done some nice riding in New York for the Zito operation, had the mount here and was obviously very impressed with the way this colt ran. The winner, Regal Shivers, a 3-year-old chestnut colt, a son of Wavering Monarch out of Carney Gal by Carnivale, is a Florida bred in Florida by William Condren. He certainly does have look like a horse that's got a lot going on. He certainly is moving up into very good form right now for Mr. Condren and Nick Zito. He is probably going to be running in a couple of more stakes in New York, and I'm sure we'll be seeing him contesting against some of the major horses heading down into the Triple Crown Trail. Regal Shivers, ridden to victory by Javier Castellano, completes the mile in a 16th in 1:44 and 2. That does conclude our look back at the stakes racing activities of this previous week. We've got a lot coming up next week's show. We do hope you'll be able to join us from South Florida, obviously. A lot of good stakes racing highlighted by the Grade 1 Fountain of Youth on Saturday. We will also have fillies on the track this week, midweek, for the Shirley Jones. It does look like Dream Supreme may be making her 4-year-old debut in that event, so that should be a solid race. Out on the West Coast, we've got some nice races, the Santa Margarita, the Buena Vista, and the San Luis Obispo on the turf. We'll also have the Dearly Precious and the Holly Hughes here in New York, the Silver Bullet Day Handicap at the Fairgrounds. So a lot of stakes racing activity for next weekend's program. We hope you'll be able to join us then again. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm Jean Wood, and I will see you back here next week.
The unofficial top 3 finishers have been posted. First, number 5.